Hello, and welcome to Cornelia F. Bradford's Masterpiece Theatre. Cornelia F. Bradford, where the F stands for frugivorous, which means eating fruit. Not many people know this, but Cornelia F. Bradford always had an apple a day. She certainly did keep the doctor away. Matter of fact, I don't think she ever saw one. It's probably why she died so young. Tragic. Anywho, tonight's book is all about venomous desert animals. Let's open it up and find out some information, shall we? Oh, what's this? Oh dear, I'm not reading that book. No, thank you. Tonight's book is going to be called George Washington Visits. Now, it's a very big book, so let's get started, shall we? George Washington Visits by Dennis Fertig. Daniel and Father were excited. Tomorrow, George Washington, America's greatest hero, would visit their town, Trenton, New Jersey. The town planned a big celebration. Tonight, though, the springtime skies over Trenton turned dark. Big raindrops fell faster and faster. "Daniel, let's hurry," Father called. The sign says, "See General George Washington tomorrow." Father and son sprinted to a small barn near the town center. It was Father's blacksmith shop. He used an iron key to quickly unlock the door. When the door opened, Daniel could see huge piles of freshly picked flowers inside the shop. The flowers blew in the wind. "Close the door fast," called Father. "Don't let the flowers blow around." Daniel shut the door. "I hope it doesn't storm tomorrow," he said. In a few moments, Daniel was handing flowers to Father. They were making a special sign. It was an iron frame filled with hundreds of flowers. "Will General Washington see our sign?" asked Daniel. "Yes, he will pass under it," said Father. "And remember, he'll be President Washington in a week." Daniel kept handing Father flowers. Father asked for red blooms, yellow blooms, and green leaves and stems. Daniel liked helping, but he wasn't sure he liked flowers. He wasn't sure if boys were supposed to. Yet Father liked flowers, so it must be all right. After hours of difficult work, Father and son were finished. Father shoved the big sign up against the wall. The iron frame was heavy. Daniel read aloud. "December 26, 1776 to January 2nd, 1777. Daniel thought for a second. "That was before I was alive," Father said. "Yes, it was 12 years ago. I was a soldier then." Father frowned and looked serious. Daniel knew he was remembering the terrible war. The war was the Revolutionary War. Before it started, the British king ruled America. Americans fought the war to be free. Americans won. Daniel asked, "Father, did you know that America would win the war?" Father smiled. "At first I wasn't sure, until someone changed my mind." "Who changed your mind, Father?" Father answered, "George Washington." "You knew him?" asked Daniel in amazement. "Oh, I never spoke with him, but I was one of his soldiers. I did see him often then," Father said as he looked at the dates on the sign. "On those days, we fought a battle here in Trenton," Father explained. "In the middle of a winter storm, we attacked a big British army. We won that battle, and I knew we would keep winning battles because General Washington was smart, brave, and determined. I was right." The next morning it rained a little, but then stopped. Father and other men moved the big sign. They set it up over the road into Trenton. Later that day, Daniel and Father stood near the sign. Soon they could see George Washington on a white horse. Crowds cheered and cheered. As George Washington rode under the sign, he looked toward Father. Then he looked again. Did he remember Father? George Washington stopped his horse and bent over to shake Father's hand. "Thank you, soldier, for your brave service," George Washington said. Were boys supposed to have tears in their eyes? Daniel wasn't sure. But Father did, so it must be all right. The end. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed George Washington Visits. Now, I suppose you're wondering what this contraption is that I'm sitting in. Well, I'll tell you. It's a time machine. I built it. So let's say we go back to the past and pay a little visit to George Washington himself. Yes, we can ask him some questions. Won't that be fun? All right, let me set the coordinates. 1790, Colonial America, and let's go. See you in the past. Here we go. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, it works. It's working. That's fantastic. I did it. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed George Washington Visits. Now, here we are in Colonial America, circa 1790. Isn't that fascinating, boys and girls? Now, I've got the time machine double parked around the back. Can't be too careful, even in Colonial America. Let's take a look around and see who we can find. Well, I'll be. It's the president himself, George Washington. Excuse me, Mr. President, sir. I hate to bother you, but, wow, I can't believe it's President George Washington. Oh,
President Georgie, Porgy, Puddin' and Pie.
oh, well, pudding and pie. Sir, I have to admit you're not at all what I expected from the first president of this country.
You're not all I expected from a red coat.
A red coat? Oh, this is great coat. Well, sir, I was wondering, the children and I just read a fabulous book about you, and I was wondering if you could help dispel some of the myths that surround your persona.
Yeah, shoot, man.
All right, is it true that you chopped down a cherry tree when you were just this big?
No, man, I didn't chop down no cherry tree. It was a blueberry bush.
Oh, a blueberry bush. I haven't heard that one before. Sir, is it true that you have wooden teeth?
Wooden teeth, man? I got rid of those years ago. Had termites.
Oh.
This is elephant ivory.
Oh, yes, elephant ivory. Interesting. Now, sir,
What else you
is
got?
it true you never ever told a lie?
Are you kidding, man? I'm president of the United States. That's what we do, baby.
Oh, very interesting. Well,
Hey, man.
Yes?
You got $1.25?
$1.25, I think so. Let me see here. Here is your quarter, yes, and here is a nice dollar for you.
Oh.
There you are.
Woo, what a likeness.
Yes.
I love that picture.
That's a wonderful
I don't know.
portrait.
This one I think is they got the bad side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, hey Bub, I'll see you later, okay? I'm the president, you know, got lots to do, baby.
Oh, yes, thank you very much for your time, Mr. President. Wasn't that fascinating, boys and girls? President George Washington. He was... Oh, Mr. President, I believe you forgot something. That happens to be my dollar and my quarter, sir.
Your dollar and your quarter?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have your pictures on it?
Well, no, but...
See you, man. Gotta go.
Yes, Mr. Washington.
Hey, Alexander.
Mr. President. Boys and girls, I'll see you next week on Cornelia F. Bradford's Masterpiece Theater. Mr. President, come here. I gotta go all the way from... Mr. President, I say, running off with my $1.25 is not very presidential. Mr. President, come back here.
I got me $1.25. I'm gonna call myself Alexander Hamilton and start the U.S. Treasury. I'm rich, baby, rich.